Hello everyone, this is a screen recording of the folder where I have all the LAMC materials. So by this time, you should have watched already the 6-minute version and then the reduced 3-minute version. Now, obviously, I'd like to point out that the video is just a result of the narration on the PowerPoint. So if you look at the PowerPoint, this is a 19 slide presentation, but it's still, when recorded as a video, lasts 3 minutes, 3 seconds. But let's look at it. Okay, so the view that we will use is the slide sorter view for us to point out a couple of things and how this is made. Okay, so this is made up of 19 slides. I recorded this using this record button or the which you'll find out how to use in the older videos. But each slide has 10, 8, 13, 10 seconds. That's the time I spent or put in per slide, and the total, as you know from the video version of this, was 3 minutes 3 seconds. So how do you reduce this, because there's still an excess of 3 seconds? Now the reason I advocate a PowerPoint with narration is if you wanted to reduce this by another 3 seconds, then you can just delete one slide. Okay, if you delete one slide, that takes out automatically 13 seconds and you're left with 2 minutes 50 seconds. So instead of reducing the entire presentation or redoing the entire presentation, then perhaps you can just look at reducing the time here or deleting the slide altogether. So I choose to, since it's just 3 seconds over, I'll just choose to um, re-record on this slide. So let's do that. So I'll press on this and then I'll record, and then from the current slide, okay, that's what I will do. And I will just clear the recording on the current slide. Okay, so I'm conscious that originally I had 13 seconds here, and I'll just re-record on the current slide and just be concise with it and reduce that time. So I'll retake the video on the current slide. So this application is for Motolite. As we know, Manny Pacquiao has been a big endorser of the brand, and just by a change in phone number, they lost sales. So now it's saying it's 3:01. It's still beyond the 3 minutes. So I'll just take this out again on the current slide. Okay. So we will use Motolite as the application subject. And even if we have Manny Pacquiao endorsing the brand, just a change in phone number can result to lost sales. Still, it's 12 seconds. So let's try again. No? So we're just trying here and then recording a fourth time on this slide. So I'll just retake on the current slide. So we will use the application using Motolite, where Manny Pacquiao is a well-known endorser. So 8 seconds, the total time is 2 minutes 59. So now if we export this file, it will show export video. And then no, I will just make this into 2 minutes 58 seconds. Do you want to replace it? No. Uh, So I will rename it as a okay. The filing convention will be this. Okay, since I know this within the acceptable range. So Motolite Bong de Ungria. So that's the final file name. So LAMC, the 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 subject and the name. Right? Okay. So just as an example, if this is chapter 1, chapter 01, if you are asked to report for chapter 1. Okay, so now I'll export the video. And if you recall, the time for the video based on the log on PowerPoint is less than 3 minutes, which is maximum limit for this exercise for everyone. So we're just exporting this. So students have asked me, why not use Canva or any other application other than PowerPoint? You're welcome to do so. If you can find that you can adjust the the length very easily, as I showed you, then so be it. Okay, but I've proven that PowerPoint is a good exercise for us to remember. So if you look here on the demo, um, where did it go? So I'm just looking. So if you look at it, the file now is 2 minutes 58 seconds. We adjusted just one slide to reduce it from 3 minutes 3 seconds. But from the original 6-minute version, there were a couple of slides reduced to make it come close to 3 minutes. So that's how you adjust the length very easily. And it's easy if you use PowerPoint with narration. So I also go back and take this opportunity to just look at the mandatory formats or elements when we're looking at our PowerPoint or Canva or whatever platform you choose to do. Let's use PowerPoint. So I'll use sorter. So mandatory number one, sandwich the report with a cover page at the start and at the end. So that's like your executive summary. And then after the executive summary, you have an outline page. And that outline page um, transformed very, in a way, reworded becomes the summary page. So these are the first and last slides, the second and the second to the last slides. Now this ones, if we make it bigger, so for instance, here on the second slide, it still says outline. And as you go through the presentation, it mentions that it's still the outline. Of course, when you reach the end, you have to change it from outline to summary, and the wordings has to be different. No? It's still two sections, but now that you've presented this, you have to reword the summary because you've actually presented it already. All right, so the first, second, the second to the last, and final slide are there. Mm, you will notice that there are headings, headlines on each slide. And if you focus on slide 4, 5, 6, it actually starts from slide 6 where there are 1, 2, 3. Instead of using animation, I just take out the last line, and then instead of animation on this, I take out the line and the photo so it looks like this. So that's the easier way to animate rather than using the animation function of PowerPoint. That's my recommendation. Also here, these are two related slides, but instead of having to use a pointer, this is the complete slide, but you don't want to show the entire thing. So you take out the lower portion on the preceding slide. So here, if you look at it, the audience only sees what is being discussed, and after that, they'll see the next parts to it. This is what we call a page separator. So this is a page separator, and this just tells us that this is the outline and this is the topic. The whiter part is the topic which is next. So it gives structure to the presentation, and again, make it a headline, not a label. So make each slide a headline, not a label. So these are the common things we still have for our LAMC, no, which used to be COSLA. But if you again look at this, the first what 12 slides of the 19 slides are all about the local application. The next ones from 13 to 19 are about closing it, and the only slides for the concept are slides 14 to 17. So clearly the emphasis for this report is the local application, but demonstrate that you actually were using that application to demonstrate a marketing concept. You have to cite the marketing concept as well. So this is the latest version. This demo should help you very quickly what is needed for this communication exercise. What is communication? Communication is introducing what you will say, which is the outline, saying it in the body of the presentation, and then summarize what you just said. And since this is a business report, again, the first and last slide should be like executive summaries. It should not be wasted. It should actually, in a slide, tell you what the presentation is all about. So it cannot be all text. You have to make it interesting with visuals, and the size of the text and the colors and the capitalization reflect the importance of the element compared to the rest of the slide. All right, so this is your LAMC guide. This is Crazy Prof. Bong de Ungria, and this is your guide for this marketing activity.